Okay, now we'll talk about the RED model for critical thinking. Now we'll talk about the Paragon7 model for cognitive readiness. And cognitive readiness is a model that has been developed by our partner at Executive Development Associate in the US, and one of the developers, 𝐂 who I'm privileged to know, and my colleague who have worked with MOD, the DoD, Department of Defense, and with many other organizations like NASA and so forth, and developed this model, Paragon7, and it's very interesting. And there's an article called the mental preparedness of a leader. I think it's published in the ATD, Association for Talent Development, and 𝐂 and Bonnie Hagerman are the authors, two of my colleagues in the US, and I encourage you to read about it. So let me just quickly share with you the Paragon7. So first, you need to look at the 7 competencies. Number 1 is about mental connection, about your recognizing your mental model, knowing yourself, what are your thoughts, how to regulate your thoughts and emotion. And that's very important, especially when something trigger in your amygdala. We talk about amygdala hijack in emotional intelligence. When you need to regulate and understand when that is triggered, how do you manage it? Second is about attentional control, being there, being present, focus your energy with your team, being there for your people when you have a situation, when you have a problem, especially in the disruptive workplace. Be there, understand, show them that you care and you are there with them, being present. Third is about sense making, connecting the dots. There'll be a different set of information coming in. So how do you put all this thing, making sense of all this information, connecting the dots in different aspects. And then of course, intuition, check your gut and don't let it rule the mind. And people ask me, with the, in the disruptive digital world, we have big data. It's important. Yes, it's important. It's important to leverage on data, the market intelligence. But at the same time, we need to be mindful. Do not allow your gut feeling to overrule your mind. In other words, the data is important, your gut feeling is important, you need to look at past experience, then you need to make a judgment call. But don't use emotion, your gut feeling too much that you overrule the facts in front of you. So you need to make sense of both the data, big data, and also your gut feeling. And of course, we talk about problem solving. Skills using the RED model, the critical thinking skills, and how do you resolve challenge using the RED model I talked about earlier, and about being adaptable, willing to change, being resilient, agile, to move quickly with the change, and then you need to change and adapt. That's very important, adaptability, resilience. And lastly, communication. And we all know communication is important, especially when you are talking about in a situation where a complex business environment like we are in today, the highly disruptive, crisis-laden business environment. How do you inspire your team? How do you provide them a sense of purpose, direction? And that's important because when you have a team where diverse, especially you talk about a virtual team across globally, and during the COVID-19, we found that a lot of people are struggling because all over the world, they do not have a sense to meet together, and then leaders are not connecting with them enough. So communication, you need to have impactful communication, drive the message. A great example is the late CEO of Marriott Hotel. We call his name is Arne Sorensen. I encourage you to look at his name, Marriott Hotel, on YouTube, and look at how he's impactful. While he's suffering from stage 4 cancer, dying, and knowing that next coming weeks he will no longer be around. Yet he appeared and in a very impassioned plea to his people, your team worldwide, that the challenge that the hotel industry is facing during the COVID-19, how he inspires people, how you drive and you bring along people. That is a challenge. That is what a great leader does. And he demonstrates exactly what we call the cognitive readiness framework. Thank you.